and then we'll go ahead and now we'll go ahead and talk about the state of the Milwaukee Bucks really, really quickly. This one just came. This one was pretty much a thought in my head when I was thinking about this topic. The Milwaukee Bucks and the way their roster is constructed right now, they have a lot of old guys on their roster. This team is not relatively young in terms of the guys that they built. Giannis being the number one guy over there, and you have Chris Middleton who's in his 30s, right, about to get to his 30s. Drew Holiday in his 30s, and with the way this team is constructed right now, and them being so successful, this team is on a 13-game win streak right now. And with the way the salary cap and their contracts are constructed, the youngest guy on the roster right now is a rookie they drafted last year. So that pretty much says a lot about how they built this team. And Chris Middleton is due for a contract extension this upcoming summer. Brook Lopez is going to be off the books. Those are two key guys a part of this team. And we talk about them, being championship contenders, and of course, there's no denying that. But what do we believe that their window of opportunity is gonna close a lot quicker than people think?
Mm, I don't know, man. I feel like as long as you still have Giannis, your window of opportunity can never close. I feel like he himself, he's like a guaranteed 45 wins a season by himself. Like he's someone who elevates your roster. And so Chris Middleton is really just a matter of health. If he's able to stay healthy, and Drew Holiday is someone who is relatively pretty durable. Drew Holiday is a hard body, someone who stays healthy, and a guy like Brook Lopez, um, like his game is not predicated on him needing to be some sort of like star for them, just a rim protector, just a big that stays healthy. But outside of that championship core, really they do need to shake up a bit of this roster because you have like Grayson Allen, you have Pat Connaughton, you have like a bunch of guys. They need more athleticism. They need more legs underneath them. They need to make some moves for some bench guys on this team. So I feel like really it's just a matter of them going out and getting new guys towards their bench, and maybe upgrading on a couple of their bench pieces. But that's really, as long as you have Giannis, I feel like your championship core or your championship window doesn't close.
Yeah, to me, the same. Well, have Giannis on your team, I don't think that championship window closes. Feel like even with it looking like, with the age that they got, Middleton's health issues, I feel like even a little tweak to the roster, they still can reconstruct and they still have those championships up with Giannis. Although, Drew Holiday to me is a guy that extremely fit, very durable. He can, play a full 82 game season without, not missing much games, not doing the little load management stuff. I feel like, if they can get a couple more young bench players, refix the bench a little bit, get another shooting guard into the rotation, a younger shooting guard, that championship window is going to be open. So Giannis, he's young. Wherever he is, he's going to attract players. They built this roster just off of him. I feel like if it does fall off, they're still going to rebuild and they're going to be right back in it with Giannis. So,
I mean, yeah, you think about it like that. Yeah, of course, you can always retool and rebuild the roster around Giannis, but Giannis is 28 now. He's not no young guy that who was 26 a couple years ago, winning championships for the Milwaukee Bucks. This guy's gonna get up there in age really, really soon, and when a lot of your co-stars are already in their 30s and a lot of your starting lineup is in their 30s, of course, this league is not going to the league is not getting any older. A lot of these young guys are coming in and taking the league by storm, as we're seeing right now, each and every game and each and every season. Right now, I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks are kind of just stuck in their tracks. Of course, Giannis is always going to give them a fighter's chance. He's always going to, give them the best chance to win an NBA championship. There's no doubt. Being the best player in the world and being the best player in the league, that's just what you're going to get from him. And, we could talk about Drew Holiday and his running and Chris Middleton being his two running mates being very, very good. But at some point, when you run into this young team like the Boston Celtics, and you play the Philadelphia 76ers, and you're not necessarily you find yourself each and every year just having trouble with one of these teams, and you're not necessarily getting back to the NBA Finals, at some point you do have to question the window of opportunity. And at that point, you do have to question the roster as a whole, even including Giannis, because of course, at some point when Giannis gets up there in age, when he's up there in his early 30s, the Milwaukee Bucks aren't going to be the same team as they are right now. And with the way the roster is constructed and the salary cap and the way the contracts have to be, dished out, with Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez going to take a lot up of your cap, you're not necessarily going to have wiggle room to go get quality guys that are on the younger side of things. So you're really going to have to retool this roster by, either restructuring contracts or trying to, get some quality guys on the low and, paying pennies on the dollar. So, but I just feel like, for this team to be, up there in age and for their youngest player to be a rookie that they drafted last year, at some point this is going to catch up to them. And right now we might not agree, we might not see it like that. And of course, when they have Giannis and Middleton and Drew just leading the way for them, and right now they're reeling on a 13-game win streak, a lot of people aren't going to necessarily turn an eye to it. So I feel like this discussion, a couple of years from now, will definitely spark up, and a lot of people are going to be like, they're going to look back at these years and be like, wow, this has been a recurring theme for quite some time now. So a lot of we missed it then, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to miss it now. There's just no way. And at some point, if the Milwaukee Bucks don't necessarily win a championship in these next 2-3 years, I wouldn't even think, I wouldn't be able to. I would say, Giannis will leave. I feel like at some point, Giannis, even himself, whenever he talks about his future and staying in Milwaukee, he always says he's loyal and he loves Milwaukee, he loves being there. But there's always some sort of remarks saying, well, I like the Chicago Bulls, or I like playing somewhere else. There's always just some sort of statement that people don't necessarily pick up on, because of course he signed this large extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. But at some point, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have to look themselves in the mirror and face reality a couple years from now, if they don't cap off any of these years with a championship, and be like, well, we might lose Giannis, but for the years that we've had him, it was some great years. So a couple of years from now, this discussion will definitely come about. So that's why I wanted to discuss it today. But with that being said, any final words before we sign off here?
Man, post All-Star break, let's get serious, man. NBA basketball has arrived. You're muted.
Mike's muted.
Miami 0-2 post All-Star break. Lakers about to be 2-0 tomorrow.
I mean, you just gotta clap your hands up and say, "What a top 7 seed for the Lakers, man."
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to get down to the wire of the NBA season. Everything is coming so fast right now. Right now there's only about 20 games left for every franchise, and everything being so close in the Western Conference is going to be interesting to see. And of course, we'll be right here to talk about it. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and close things out here. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. We really appreciate your love and support. We'd really appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at New Media Podcast. And for those of you that are watching us on YouTube, all of our social media handles will be at the end of this video. And for those of you that are listening to us on Apple and Spotify, if you go to our Instagram page at New Media Podcast, you'll be able to navigate yourself to all of our social media handles there. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Record a new hit, then we making us a film. Wouldn't sign a deal if I got a couple mil. Been in the lab, now they throwing out deals. Me and now Lakes, now that's overkill.